Hello artists, welcome to Collage Level F. You're there, you've made it to the end. This is the very last level. Okay, so here's the thing. This video might get a little long, and that's okay because there's lots of steps. So you might need to pause the video from time to time so that you can do steps on like when those steps are done. So let's get started. All right. So in front of me, I have my experiment page, and of course, I'm going to put my name, and then I'm going to put I'm at Collage, and I'm on the very last level, level F. All right, here. Let's take a look at our rubric sheet and see what it is, see what I have to do. Okay, I can successfully collage my collage. Okay, so we'll talk about what exactly that means here just in a little bit. All right, I can create with clear layers in my collage. Ooh, that means my background, middle ground, and foreground. I can do all those three things. And then I can add fine details in 2D and 3D in my artwork by adding collage details or mixed media. Ooh, that sounds like a lot for 3 little bullet points. So let's talk about what our experiment looks like first. So first off, our experiment has 2 parts to it. So our first part is talking about 3-dimensional. Now we've done 3-dimensional strips and fun things like that, but now we're gonna get into shapes. We're gonna get into 3-dimensional shapes. So here I have a cube and I have a pyramid. You are also going to create a cube and a pyramid. All right, what you're going to need is you're going to look for this box right here. It's got these fun little papers in it, fun colors. You can pick any color you like. It says Collage Level F on it so that you know what it is. And you are going to go ahead and cut the shapes out. You'll notice they're already there for you. You're going to want to cut on the dotted line. You're going to want to cut around the outside of this. Even these little parts right here. These little lines right here so that you can bend the tabs. And it's going to look like this when you're done. All right. And then you're also going to cut out the pyramid. You're going to want to cut all the way around. Do not cut through any of those spots. You want it to be one whole piece. Kind of looks like a fidget spinner a little bit. All right, so then what you're going to do is to make your cube, you are going to start bending and folding. I need to fold my tabs inside. I need to fold my tabs in. This is where I'm going to put my glue. Remember from level D how I had to put the glue on my tabs? Same thing. I need to fold all of these little tabby edges so that oh no, Mrs. Nichols did not cut the tabs right there in half. Whew, I'm so glad I caught that. All right, see, we all make mistakes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fold them in so that they're at a 90-degree angle so that they're sitting upright like that. Look at that. And then I'm going to make sure they get all the way in. I'm going to fold on the line nice and straight here. I'm going to go all the way around. Then what I'm going to do once I have the tabs folded is I'm going to start folding on the other lines too. Okay, they're also going to go in. So watch my cubes try to make itself. Now I want to fold it all the way down so that I can bend it back. Ooh, there's one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fold it all the way down. There's 2. And again, I'm going to fold it so that it kind of starts to stand up here. Oh, I'm starting to see how my cube is going to take shape here. All right, I got a couple more sides to go ahead and fold. I want to make sure I get all my folding done first before I do any glue so that my paper will bend the way I want it and I don't have a gluey mess that falls apart. Okay, here we go. Now, when I start gluing this, I want to make sure that I'm remembering to count to the 30 seconds or singing a little happy birthday song or twinkle twinkle little star in my head or something along those lines. And I want to make sure that I am getting those tabs. So I'm going to do one side first, and I'm going to build it up here, and I'm going to hold it into place and count, 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 count. And I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to keep going. So watch for the magic. Ta-da! Ta-da! I mostly have it done. Okay, I wanted to show you this last part of this cube. It gets kind of hard because now I can't get my fingers inside to hold it. So when I do my very last one on top, I have to kind of fit it in here, get back under the camera here, and get my tabs right inside. I have to kind of smush that in and kind of finagle it a little bit. Kind of hold it together, almost. All right, there it is. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of hold the sides like this together with my pinchers. And I'm just going to hold it there. And again, I have to wait and wait and wait some more and sing my little song and stuff. When I'm done, we're going to pretend like I did because of movie magic. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just get some glue on the bottom and then put it on my paper here. Okay. So then I would do the same thing with the pyramid. I'm going to fold on all the lines and all the tabs. And this time when I do it, I'm going to make sure it comes up in a triangle. And I'm going to, then it's just the 4 little tabs that I'm gluing into place. So this one's a little bit simpler. So, and then I'm just going to glue them right into place. Then the last one, of course, it's a little harder because I have to just kind of hold it together. All right. Once I have that done, my second part of my experiment is experimenting with textures and creating defined layers. So one of my goals was I can add clear layers in my collage. So here I have 2 parts of a grassy plain. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to glue them right on top of each other here in a minute. But what I want to do is, because they're both green, like I have 2 rolling hills, they're both green. But when I put them on top of each other, if I were to glue them down, I wouldn't be able to see them very well. So a way that I can make it so that I have clear layers is by using my mixed media. I can use mixed media. So I have access to colored pencils, to Sharpies, and to oil pastels. Something that I like to do to make texture here is I know that things in my background are a little darker and things that are in my foreground or things closer to me are lighter. They're more bright in color. So if this one's the hill behind and this one's the hill in front, I'm going to take maybe like a dark green oil pastel and I'm just going to make like grass textures. And I would just go over and over and over and over and over and over again. And maybe I could take a second color, maybe like a blue or an even darker green. And I would just make all these fun little textures. And maybe if my grass were smooth, it'd be different. Or if it was water, it might be a lot different looking. The texture would be different. I would add like waves or something. All right, now this is mostly all the way down there. So then I would glue this down. And then I would take my second layer here. And maybe this time I do a light green and then a yellow because my grass might be brighter. I'm going to put down my yellow first because I feel like the light green is better, but I would do that all over the place and then add in some more texture here. And notice I'm doing this before I glue it down because I know that this is all covered. I don't want to wait for my dry time. All right, so you could do grass or water. It might look something like this, but see I have a darker hill back here and I have a lighter hill up here. My texture is more defined up here. My texture is less defined back there. All right, and I would glue those on top of each other. Now, what I would do for my mini artwork this time, so this is an example of what my mini artwork might look like. This is up to you. You're gonna plan your mini artwork first. Where you're going to plan it here is you might plan it just up here, maybe in your sketchbook, or maybe over here, wherever you have room on your sketchbook page, and you're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna plan it out. All right, after you've planned it out, you're gonna come get a 6x6 square from the help desk, and you are going to start creating your mini art. Now, the thing I wanted to show you here is that this background is not glued together. This is mixed media. So what I did here was I took some oil pastels. Maybe you take oil pastels or colored pencils, and I created a sky in the background here. So I went ahead and I created my sky. Then I took my rolling hills and I glued them on top. I went ahead and did just like we did in our experiment. I took these rolling hills, I did the darker green, and then I glued them down. Then I went ahead and I glued down this, the lighter grass. And the lights are going off. Hold on here. There we go. Then I wanted to create another layer. So my stream here is coming up, up, up. It's coming forward. So I went ahead and I took a blue piece of paper and I cut it out to be the shape I wanted. And I did oil pastel on top of it. Then I glued it down. The last thing that I want to be able to do is, it said 2D or 3D, 2D or 3D pieces of paper. So one way that I can do that is I've created a hot air balloon. And I took the things that I learned from my tabby system and I went ahead and I did tabs. You can kind of see them there on the side. I drew a balloon on my paper. So if I were going to draw this, here's what it might look like. I drew the shape of my balloon, what I wanted it to look like. And then I added tabs to the sides. So I know I needed a tab maybe here. They don't have to be the most perfect looking tabs in the world. They can be quite simple. But I wanted to make space in between. I added a tab here, and then a tab here, and a tab over here. Something so that I can create a very low 3-dimensional shape. And I would just create those tabs. And just like I did with my cube and my pyramid, I would cut these out, cut the whole thing out, and then I would cut and glue it. I put on my colored pencil before I glued it down. I just flipped it over when I had it cut out and put on my colored pencil detail. That way I wouldn't smush it. And then the same thing with this little bucket here. I took the idea of taking a really low tab here, and I might make something like this to where I now, instead of just a straight piece of paper, I can draw what I think it might look like. My little bucket, I think that might be straight. And then again, I would add tabs on the sides. I would cut it out, and then I used my pencil to give it shape by rolling it. This is the very last level, and happy creating, artists.